And gentlemen, welcome back to the LCO.
Base race?
It's a base race! They're marching, they're flashing, they're gonna go for this one! I don't believe this! I do not believe this!
Only aim for perfection. Ain't no half stepping. I'm gonna take you back. Spitting facts, you gotta live with that. Who got it? Who won it? No problem. We mobbing in the city.
Champagne!
Do or die, it's either all or nothing. Best believe I'm leaving out with something. Anytime I got the crowd jumping, throwing raves, know they fist.
Just evaporated. Goodo locking them all in place, linking up with Kiyose. That's an ace!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. 5 plus 2, what's that equal? 7, Kitty. Week 7 of the LCO. We're here, we're having a damn good time, and we got a lot of bloody action for all of you guys. Delivered by Menulog, of course. Now, we have Kitty. She's had a great week, and I believe you two have as well. One of you looking more snug than the other, or am I wrong, Skimmy?
I feel like we're both pretty
Pretty snug on this couch, let's be honest. We're getting it done. Absolutely.
You really are. And you're looking beautiful doing it as well. Kitty, how was your weekend? I know I spoke for you. You said it was good.
How's my weekend? I was really jealous of the people who went to an anime convention, which I didn't get tickets to. So I was just, you know that meme where Squidward was locked up and it's just SpongeBob and Patrick
Looking
running outside? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's me being locked up because I was jealous of everyone.
No, it's all right. Look, jealousy is a great color on certain people, including
colour is it?
myself.
Oh
It's
no, I
green.
knew you were going straight
Yeah,
there.
It's green. It is.
I think it's violet.
Is it violet or is it blue? Like, that's the real question. Either way, look, last week
Could be gold.
we had some games. We had some upsets as well. So let's look back and see what went down during week 6, or at least day 2 of week 6. It wasn't the Super Week, that was the week before, but there were some interesting affairs. Kanga continued to show us what they're made of. We saw Direwolves sort of a bit here, a bit there, and still, you know, finding that consistency going into this third round. And all of these teams needed to get these wins over the board, but we ended up with Order slightly out on top, at least in second, with Chiefs still undefeated.
Yeah, both Order and Chiefs were the only teams to have a 2-0 week. The honourable mention, I think, should go out to Peace for their performance on the second day of last week, where they looked like the best team in the world, but the day prior, the worst team in the world. But it does show that ceiling is there, right? And like, that's the hype that we had behind Peace. We saw a glimmer of it, which is really exciting moving forwards because it makes predictions actually quite difficult for them, unless you're Kitty.
Yeah, unless you're
got
kidding.
That's
And
probably Peace.
You just get there and believe and still manage to... Wait, Skimmy, you're on the top now?
No, bro, don't.
No, you're not.
No. So me and Kitty were like
Back
at the
to
top,
tied.
and I was feeling really good about myself, right? I thought, hang on a minute, I actually know a little bit about League of Legends, and then Kitty just comes in and goes, watch this. What was it, 3 weeks in a row? Perfect? And your
Yes,
predictions?
it was 3 weeks in a row where I had a perfect week. So follow me if you want your Twitch points because I'm always correct.
You are generally, yeah. So, look, Kitty, I just need to ask, are you still Challenger? You are now, yeah?
I am
Very
challenged
good.
and I'm ranked 36. So, yes.
Ooh, you're climbing.
I'm not at the bottom. I'm in like the middle now.
You're climbing just like Chiefs, pretty much undefeated, 13 and zip so far. As I mentioned before, Order sitting pretty in second, but only by 1 win. That could definitely change this week. 3-way tie in third place, Dials, Peace, and PGG still holding on to that top 5, but just barely because Kanga is 1 win behind them, sitting in 6th position. A few behind there, you got Mammoth, who's still maybe able to make playoffs if something magic happens going into that third round robin, and Gravitas at the bottom, still looking for 1 fatty dub for themselves for the split. But going into this week, this is where things get spicy. Final game of this final day rather of this second round robin. We got PGG up against Direwolves at 6 PM to kick things off, which, you know, could definitely be a contender for match of the week. Peace and Gravitas, 7 PM, could be an interesting one and definitely a form test for Peace. Chiefs and Kanga, again, could be fun depending on how Kanga play. And then the final game of the day, Order and Mammoth, is pretty much going to be a bit of a skill check and see how both these teams are faring going into week 7. Kitty, which one's your favorite for the day?
I'm sure all of our eyes are on PG vs Styles, and on paper, this should be the match of the week. But looking at Pentanet's performance from last week, it wasn't the most solid coming out of the boys, so it sadly did not become match of the week. But I'm sure it's still going to be quite exciting.
Yeah, it seems like it definitely could be a contender because both the teams need that win to edge out of third place, try to get up there to second, and Order arguably have a bit of an easier game today. So should be able to maintain that second position depending on how that goes. Now let's have a look at what the match of the week is quickly. It's Direwolves and Peace. So that's tomorrow, 9 p.m., Tuesday, 9 p.m. AEST, New Zealand, I guess that's 11. It could also be, what's Perth, 6 p.m.? Nice and early.
Is it 6?
Yeah, I'm not sure when it's...
Do they have daylight savings?
Maybe it's 7. I don't know. You guys, it says AEST. Just put it into Google, say what's the time in Perth, and you guys will know because I obviously don't. I'm not a clock. I'm a host that doesn't tell time. I just appear sometimes. Good fun, though. Another big announcement today. What?
He's a host, not a clock.
He's a host, he's not a clock.
Yeah, I know sometimes we did this last week, but it wasn't 2 hands. It was... Anyway, look. Big announcement today. DreamHack Finals. LCO Grand Final's going to be there, but also the lower bracket final. We got an extra day of fun, an extra day of games. Who is excited for DreamHack?
Trying to get in a microphone.
Me.
You are? Why?
Because it's going to be 2 days where we have the lower bracket on Friday and the grand final on Sunday.
Which means if you get yourself one of those 3-day tickets, not only do you get to see 2 days of LCO bangers, you get to go and explore on the Saturday as well. And I'm sure we'll definitely be there Friday and Sunday. Will we be there Saturday? Well, if you guys show up, you'll find out. And that's all I need to say. Now, look, get those tickets quick, smart, because you don't want to miss the LCO finals at DreamHack. Good fun, good times. Rusty said he'd shake your hand.
Did I?
Probably.
I mean, you know what? No.
You know?
No, I will give fist bumps.
Why?
Because I'm not going to shake everyone's hands at a convention and get sweaty.
Let's touch elbows.
How do you...
I will touch elbows.
Elbow bump?
Firm handshakes.
No, firm handshakes are for the VIPs.
Okay.
Oh.
So there's only like 3 people I've offered a firm handshake to so far.
Okay, well, what about the MVPs, the Dare MVPs? Because we can have a look
They
at
get
who
a
is
firm
actually
handshake.
leading that one on the leaderboards. They should all get VIPs if you ask me. 3 Chiefs members up here with 3 so far. Dante Kisse also on 3 MVPs apiece. So we got a 5-way tie for first. And I'm sure for MVPs, like the ones that have 2 MVPs, there's probably like 7, bloody 20 of them at this point.
We just got another whole team. This is literally a roster, right? Tally goes back to top lane,
True.
Kissy plays mid, and we got a 5-man squad.
Maybe this is the team. If what do we do? We do the bloody
The first team.
yeah. There's 13 players tied for second at the moment. That is ridiculous.
13.
I do want to mention that there is a little imposter out of the 5 because Dante is the only rookie out of everyone to get first, which is 3 MVPs. And I really want to give props to the young player
almost
because he has
counting.
been performing excellent on dials.
Arthur's got a 1, Tally's got a 2.
Shield for 3. It's got bang bang. There's 4. I go to sleep because I can't count to 5.
Jin 4.
I mean,
Yeah,
his
definitely
palm is a 5 technically.
Really
True.
theory crafting this one.
That's some
down to a
min-maxing
T.
right there. Good observation.
Yeah, that's high quality analysis. Thank you guys, the League of Legends
what we're
bloody
here for.
experts for a reason, and you're bloody flaunting those skills. Now look, we need to have a discussion, all right? Because things are getting real awkward for that second place position. Who is actually second? Right now, it is Order, but barely. And we got about 7-8 games left here in the split. So one of these teams is going to have to crawl above the others. And who are we expecting that to be?
So this is a very interesting conversation because I'm not sure anyone is set on who it is yet for very different reasons. So by the standings, it is Order, yes. That's by 1 game, however, with a full round robin left to play. So you can't promise it'll stay there. Direwolves started really strong, but it seems like they could perhaps be solved, which may put them down towards more 3-4. And then you've got Peace, who are inconsistent. Pentanet.gg, who I think really need to go on a meditation trip into the mountains and find their style because they've lost it. And then if they find themselves, they are 100% title contenders.
Yeah.
And then Kanga, I think, is going to be the team that if they manage to make it somehow to second, that is the biggest surprise out of this entire list. I think what's cool about this list is almost anyone but them could actually end second.
Yeah, it really does feel that way, especially going into this 3rd round robin. Look, there's already actually a lot of head-to-heads already decided, which we are going to be looking at tomorrow. But for now, there is still this 1 game remaining in that 2nd round robin, and a few of these head-to-heads are going to either get put into that 1-1 scenario, go to the 2-0 scenarios, and these games today are just outrageously important.
They are, and my pick for second, not being biased or anything because I'm always biased apparently.
Is
I would
it
actually
Peace?
Yes, it is Peace because I think that the current meta, which is durability patch, favors them the most because they're the team that really pulls off the hyper carries when they're on a good day. PG likes to play the hyper carries, but they haven't been able to just find their style like Rusty has mentioned. So, not biased.
No, definitely not biased, not at all. I think Peace are looking astronomical and are going to jump over everyone and find that consistency again.
On a good day.
And on that note, it is time for the LCO Champion Conundrum!
Is today the day luck's with you? Is it now your life could read you? Then you must play the game, cause I have to proclaim life's a game of chance.
My LCO Champion Conundrum, don't jiggle jiggle.
But
It
did.
instead. That's all I'm
Wiggle,
saying.
It did
Oh,
jiggle.
sure.
Either way, today we're going to be having a little bit of fun. We're doing something different. We're going to be listening to team fights from the LCO that have happened at some point and guessing as many factors from what we hear from the audio and then running it back afterwards to see exactly how close we were. We're going to be listening for champs, for abilities, maybe Drakes, maybe Barons, just general team fights. Either way, you guys will kind of figure it out as we run through it. We're just going to write down what we think we hear on our little whiteboards.
We're just trying to guess what happens.
Casting in the dark.
Total darkness. Nocturne altered our team fight.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah, that's essentially, the bare bones. Now, look, let's listen to our first one. We'll write it down. There's no singular winners. We are all in this together.
Yeah, this is going to be so hard. There's no shot we could do this individually.
Yeah, and if anyone gets more points than the other, you can say you won, but it's team effort. There's no I in team, guys. Remember that. Now, let's listen to team fight, or whatever it is, number 1.
Okay.
That was it?
What?
Okay, so I'm guessing that's like a red buff invade at level 1. Because I think I heard a Corki and a Braum,
I had a Corki
I
for
had a
sure.
Corki.
which makes me think that there was a full level 1 5v5 or something, like a red buff invade.
Was the Braum the laugh? Because I thought that was
I
Gangplank.
think that's Braum's laugh, yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to just cancel that out.
I heard an Enchanter at the end. I'm not sure if it was Yumi or Lulu. I'm leaning towards Lulu.
Okay. So you got Corki as well. So
I got
we
Yeah,
have
we have 3 Corkis.
so we agree there was a Corki in there because you could hear the chopper.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was like the first ambient noise. Braum laughed.
Yep, Braum laugh. And do we want to listen to it back one more
Yeah.
time to see
One
how
more
we're
time. I'm
feeling?
going to turn
Yeah.
my volume up even more.
Quickly, listen back to it one more time, then we'll have a look.
Look at this minion. So it's a 2v2.
So this is a bot lane.
Oh, it's first blood,
So
so it should be pretty early.
I think I heard
it
a
should be a
Yone.
gank. It should be a gank into bot lane because I heard a Viego laugh. And
So that's Viego laugh.
I swear I heard a Viego
You
laugh.
reckon?
And it was Thresh autos or maybe Aphelios auto.
Okay,
with
so
his
here's what I
top
think I
side.
heard. This is where we differ.
Okay.
I think it was a support roaming mid for a first blood because it involved a Corki and a Yone.
Yep.
I think that's what I heard. So that's my guess.
Okay, well, we're in the team together.
Yeah.
It's one of these maybe, and we could just be completely wrong. Let's have a look
Viego.
at the team fight and see how close we were. The gank.
What's Viego?
Alright.
So there is a Viego.
Viego.
Corki.
So I got the
Keep us on
Yumi.
that. The
Oh, there's a
Yone's
Yone
there.
as well.
Yeah.
Corki dies.
Oh,
So it was Rakan. What was the
We get to
laugh?
look at it
Viego?
again.
was a
Rakan? Viego.
That has to be Viego's laugh.
he
Yeah.
was like charging up his
Yeah.
Q.
I didn't know he laughed during that.
Oh, it was Mammoth.
Hey, there was a Yumi.
Mammoth
Emote.
I got the Yumi. But there's a Yumi in the game, but it just wasn't on the screen. So what am I
How'd you
hearing?
know? How'd you know?
What am I hearing? It's rent free.
We got
So-
baited by that laugh.
There you go.
Okay.
I think we honestly did pretty well.
Yeah, you guys
Yeah,
did
that's
really
not
well. I'm gonna
bad.
give that to you two, but team game. So
I mean, I'm sitting here
Me-
cheating off his notes
Yes.
as well while I'm going.
Skimmy and I did heaps there. Didn't we?
I did actually.
Yeah, really did. Now we
Actually-
have
Actually-
one more to listen to, and we'll see what it sounds like, and we'll have a look back in a little bit. But roll the clip, or the sound.
Oh, yeah. I was like ready to look at it. That's a mess. Okay. Okay.
Did I hear an Annie? That's literally all I got.
No,
from it.
I don't think so.
There was a.
I didn't.
Was there a yordle? That last thing sounded like a yordle.
Okay, so
There's a Nautilus at the very end.
Yes.
That was the hook. I think it was a Zoe. I had like a little...
you wrote flash twice.
I just wrote flash because I could.
Yeah, yeah.
I wasn't sure. It sounded to me like a
So there was an
like a
Akali.
Drake contest.
I'm pretty confident I heard Akali using perfect execution.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I heard a Lee Sin using his Sonic Wave. And I'm pretty sure I heard a Nautilus using his hook at the very end of the fight. This makes me think it was like a Direwolves skirmish at Drake.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's a Drake fight.
Mine is so different.
What have you got?
Double kill.
I have
mean-
a Jinx Chomper.
Yeah?
I have a Zillion because we heard his bombs. I had a
did we?
Jin ult because obviously there was a Jin ult, and like Skimmy said, there was a Nautilus hook. Oh my god, that's so weird that we detect different things.
So you got Jin and Jinx.
Jin and Jinx.
We have no conflicting champions anyway. So like
know.
this is kind of
Does
if this works
Does
out.
a Ziggs ult sound the same as a Zillion, or does a Ziggs bomb sound similar to a Zillion bomb?
A little bit, yeah.
Kind of.
Because I swear I heard a yordle at the end, and I
A
don't know
yordle?
what it was.
Well, we can listen to the very end.
Okay,
Because you've
so
got Zoe, which like
got-
possibly could.
Listen to it one more time and
one more
take
time?
out
Yeah,
what
yeah.
we need.
Yeah. Just gonna tick them off.
I want to cover my eyes for better hearing.
Yeah, you heard the lead there.
Yeah, Lee
So,
and Akali.
all right. What if I just throw a curveball and say this is a game from Split 1 playoffs of Pentanet.gg where they played Rumble Top?
Oh, it just goes out the gate.
That's a hard throw.
And it's a team fight near Drake.
I'm saying it's a Drake fight, exhaust, double kill, Nautilus at the end,
So-
XD.
Two flashes.
Can confirm I heard the Jinx that time as well.
Okay.
So I'm with Kitty on that one.
Yep.
Didn't hear the bombs. That's the only point that I'm...
There was a Zillion ult. I heard it.
Okay. So
there was
Zillion.
Definitely Zillion.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then probably, I still think Lee Sin, Nautilus, and Akali were all in there. So I think we've actually got most of the champions, but no idea what the fight is. I
Okay.
just took a gamble on them.
Well, let's see how close you are. We'll run the clip.
This is Zillion, okay.
What dive? There's the Zillion noise, yeah.
Was Akali, nice.
Oh, Jinx Akali.
What's happening in this fight?
Oh, yeah.
It's a grab game.
It is a grab game, yeah.
Oh, Big
Oh my
Kevy!
god, it's Kevy!
This is like a Split 1-1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
This was a long time ago.
So we didn't get Viego. I think we should have listened for the Braum laugh.
Wrong.
That's how we would have known.
It was too chaotic this time, though.
But we got almost every other champion that's in this fight, right?
Well, I thought Akali dying sounded like a yordle, and that was like my main takeaway. Everything else just sounds. So how'd we do?
That's actually like,
That's
okay.
pretty close.
We got, with what Kitty said and what we've said put together, I think we got every single champion at that, except for where it happened.
Except for Viego.
Except for Viego. Twice.
Not too bad. Not too bad at all. And on that note, we're going
Nice.
to move on to something a little more community-based. You guys at home
God, we smurfed
been
though.
sending in great content from the fans. Today, we asked, when you started playing League of Legends, what is the silliest thing you did as a new player at LCO on Twitter? And I believe we've actually got a bunch of submissions, so why don't we just jump on in and see what you guys already sent in. What are you doing that's silly when you started the game? Coach Arsh, we know him. He said, I played PD Rush Cho'Gath. What's PD?
Phantom Dancer.
Phantom Dance, there you go. Oh, on a Cho? Okay, that's why I'm confused. And always walked a solo Drake at level 6, not even knowing it gave extra gold to the team. I just wanted to kill the dragon. Very, very good. He's a Cho
He's a
going
team
for
player.
objectives.
He's just feeling like a big monster fight movie fantasy. Like, he's got the Cho'Gath, wants to fight the Drake and prove he can do it. Just King Kong on top of the tower.
Not bad, not bad. Let's see what everyone else is sending in as well. Thanks, Ash. Darantaris, I'm the VIP in the Twitch chat. Trinity Force, Black Cleaver, Alistair Top. I wanted to destroy all the towers. Okay.
I know someone who actually unironically plays this, or played this,
Yeah.
as well as on Maokai, and his name is at SpawnLol, I believe. The coach for Team Liquid Academy currently, Cheese Lord.
Shout out to Jake. So Dar and Jake maybe born on the same tree. Now let's have a look at the next one more before we jump on into that match discussion. We got Fernando, Joey, with a little happy face there. Comment to my friends in Discord, I got a kill when killing a minion.
Oh, that's cute.
That's cute. I like that one. That's like wholesome.
Skimmy
So, I
does
got a
that.
kill! And you could just imagine like that, the happiness, the joy in his voice.
I do that for sure.
Yeah, because you forget minions exist.
Yeah, I'm just too keen to fight. We had a 1v1 a long time ago, and
Yeah.
Rusty was like, so how because we were
More than
playing
one.
ranked flex, and he's asking, how am I losing these lanes so hard? So he 1v1s me, and this level 1, I'm just at him. I'm just, forget the minions, we're fighting. I've lost lane,
Yeah.
okay, I'm TPing back. I've lost again, okay, when are we team fighting? So 15 minutes yet.
Yeah, I'll tell you another team that really loves to jump on into those early fights. I think it's PGG. So let's have a look at them. They're up against Direwolves today, and they are looking stellar in these photos. Yuri, a lot of people are saying he's the best mid in the league. We just need to see that consistency from the man. And look, with Praedyth and Rogue at bottom, we still need to see a little bit more from them. We've spoken about that a little bit, saying that Praedyth's sort of sitting back, maybe holding back, and we really need to see more because we know exactly what this man is capable of.
Yeah, we certainly do. I mean, we'd love to see him really return. It was what I was mentioning the other day, back in Split 1, even last year, you know, when he was playing the Kaiser and Aphelios on repeat, getting all the quadra kills. I think he is the man that you'd always associate with multi-kills, so I'd love to see him pop off. I'd like to think that Yuri also, 13 games played, and he's played 12 unique champions. He's got an encyclopedia of what do I play today.
Yeah, that's really it. And Direwolves, look, they've got... they seemed like an encyclopedia at the start of the split, but it seems, as we mentioned before, they're starting to get figured out as to how exactly to beat them. So, what do we want to see different from Direwolves going into this week?
I mean, I would say the Direwolves are more like a textbook than they are an encyclopedia because they do the same thing really well over and over.
Okay.
I would like to see, honestly, them to continue that style and just perfect it because I think that is like, it's legitimately working for them, just a skirmish mid lane, a team fight and roaming bot lane and having flexibility on their top side of the map, right, with their jungler facilitating in Poltron.
Yeah.
I think that is a genuinely good recipe for success, and maybe it doesn't beat every team, but it's going to get them top 3 if they perfect it. And so far, so good. And they've been actually challenging and taking games off some of the best teams in the league.
Yeah, it seems like one of these things where they can continue this consistency as long as they establish some new win conditions, right? Try to adapt into how everyone's actually knocking them down. And I feel like with Poltron at the helm now, in the Rift with the rest of the members, it's like one of those things where they can just make those mid-round decisions, make those audible calls, and really just make their way back into the game. However, look, last time they went head-to-head, you did see Direwolves take the cake, so there is a chance today that they could make this a 2-0 head-to-head.
They could make this a 2-0, and I just really want to mention that Bulldog and Poltron, I love their synergy together because we do see Poltron either playing the tanky frontline engage or the long-range carries like Kindred, and I think Bulldog really enhances his carry ability or even helps someone else to carry on the team, like Suman in those skirmishes. So just overall, Direwolves have a better fundamental and know their roles exactly.
Yeah, it seems that way. Now, I believe we're having a look at someone's champ pool as well. It's Balkan, because the man he just has this itch to keep on playing new champs so far, and this is just this split. So have a look at just how many champs this man has played. That's a lot, and that's a lot of ones in there as well.
Yes, it is. It's also a lot of games on the non-meta champions for the most part, which is the really big standout factor here. Wukong 1 game played, Viego only 2 games played with 0% win rate as well. Does show that Balkan plays his own way, and I think this is a really key factor here for the side of Pentanet.gg because he is hyper aggressive at all times ever since I've seen him debut as a professional player when I first watched him in 2019 Split 1.
Yeah.
He is 100% 3 buff diving you bot lane. It just doesn't matter. You just got to set up a slow push. He's going to be aggressive. He's going to dive you. And the rest of the team is struggling to adapt to trying to integrate that style in the current meta with much more passive play, scaling-oriented lanes, and more durability left, right, and center.
Yeah.
And I think that reflects through the amount of champions that he's played here. They just can't find the recipe or the secret sauce that is perfect for them.
It's crazy that you mentioned it as well, because Yuri also has 12 unique champions he's played this split so far, and there's only been 13 games, so he's only doubled up 1 time, Skimmy.
Exactly my point. That's why I think this mid lane matchup is going to be so important because Simmons only played 5 champions, right? He's very much stuck to his guns. He's played that one Orianna game where like that's not really the assassin style gameplay we want to see, right? So I think there's a certain angle where Yuri, if he is going to continue to be Mr. Consistent, he could certainly 1v9 exploit that champion pool and give them a strong point to work around.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that they really need to pick up the pace on, and someone that might know a little about that is actually Dante. Dante, we have you on the line. How you doing, Big Melon? That big man?
Big melon?
Big Melon? Your head's not that big.
I'm doing
I'm
good.
sorry.
Nah, it's alright. No worries. I'm doing good. How are you, Mac?
Oh, I'm good, mate. I'm good as always. Now, look, it's the end of the second round robin now. I just want to know, have your personal goals shifted since the start of the split? Because obviously at the start, maybe you guys weren't expecting to win so much so early. So what's changed?
Yeah. Nothing much has really changed, I guess. I'm still looking to improve and do well, perform well in games. That's it, yeah.
That's great to hear, Dante, and hello. So you guys are currently 1-0 in the head-to-head against PG, where Suman ended 10-2 as Silas back in week 4. So are we expecting the same performance this time around?
Yeah, of course, Human's the king, mate. He's an absolute 1v9 machine.
Yeah, he really is. And I feel like you at times are also that 1v9 machine. Now, are you happy
thank
with
you.
your performances this split so far? And are you getting to play the champs you would prefer to play, or are you just sort of adapting to the meta as the rest of the ADCs?
Yeah, I think I'm happy so far, except for the last couple days, I think. I think our draft for bot at least was not that optimal. Like, we versed Zeri Yumi twice last week and kind of got railed by it, so yeah. But other than that, I'm happy.
Very good.
I'm sure we're going to see some Zeri Yumi bans coming out of Direwolves for this week, but I do know that Direwolves, their huge advantage is that early game where you guys have really clean macro. So who's actually behind these really nice calls and who has the main voice?
I'd say the main voice is Ernest. Cameron is really smart about the game and he makes like a significant amount of the shot calls on our team. But Poltron and Bulldog also contribute to that. So yeah, I'd say me and Suman are like the quiet ones, kind of just go with the flow.
I feel like that works, though. You have a couple of big voices in the team. You just follow the lead, right? And do your job, which you do pretty damn well. But we'll let you go. Get ready
ADC's
for
an
the
easy
game.
role. Thank you.
Bye,
you.
Dante.
See you, brother.
See ya.
ADC's an easy role, apparently.
Just
Easy
mechanics max. Just right click better than your opponent.
That's it. Make sure you do the last hits, do the CS thing, get heaps of that, heaps of gold, heaps of items. Hit them with your wallet every time. Unfortunately, we've got a lot of good ADCs in the league. But that's a conversation for another time because you guys want to get those Twitch points in for the Dare fan vote. Get them in. Let us know how you think this game's going to go. I'm feeling like... Well, let's just let our predictions do the talking because I'm pretty sure they're split right down the middle, and that's how I feel like this game's looking on paper. No one really knows how it's going to go. Me and Rusty, right or die with PGG, couple of wolves in the middle here.
Oh,
Look,
sorry, that slipped out.
It happens. It happens. Don't worry.
look, I've had my turn.
Watching
Going,
Twilight lately as well.
I'm such a small, like...
there you go.
You know when you watch like the videos of like puppies woofing for the first time?
Oh.
But they're like, oh!
Surprise themselves.
You know, if Mac gets this right, you're tied.
Hey.
And so it's
Oh
not
my
just me
God.
having to cop it anymore.
True, that is
Yeah.
true.
Gimme
I won't
is-
show up anymore.
It's okay because usually...
Well, so I lock in the Direwolves, and then we're doing our predictions, and then you're like, I'm going Direwolves as well. I'm like, oh, it's a good day.
Yeah,
I've got the kitty buff 13 in a row.
it's true. It's true. But at the same time, we got that shock buff because I heard he went for this prediction as well.
We have immense amounts of hopium.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lots of
That
hope.
this is the week that Pensinet.gg will show up in playoffs form. That's what we're
hope
hoping
so.
for. Yeah.
For sure.
You know, Rogue tweeted earlier and he was asking me advice on Lulu.
I
And
did see
he
that.
only gave me 2 options. He's like, do you build either Moonstone first or do you build Arden first? You don't build any of those. You build Shirelias. You never build Moonstone on
Good
Lulu
question.
because you want that movement speed for your hyper carry ADCs.
And that's why you went for Direwolves, right?
Yes, and that's why I went for Direwolves today. Full stop.
Rogue's just planted the seed in Kitty's mind. Kitty's like, what are you talking about? Just absolutely no idea. Now, I guess if we are to see Direwolves excel, what lanes is it going to be through? Are we expecting some big performance from the jungle today? Are we expecting a bit of a diffy in the tiffy? What's going on?
I'm looking at jungle again because last time we had the coaching interview, and there was some really smart research done by Poltron to anticipate that level 1. Obviously, then Seaman gets 4 kills. He's like 4-0, like 6 minutes in with that crazy fight after the dragon. So there's certainly a way for them to try and read the book on sort of some of the tendencies that Balkan will go for. And if he's still trying to say it's crunch time, it's time for PGG to perform, then maybe those tendencies will continue to haunt them.
Are we expecting Balkan to like try to get Jungle Kingdom real early? I guess we don't really know until we see what he's playing.
Always.
Like it is like his natural tendency, right? And
King
so they
of the
need
jungle.
to. Well, he has to be. 'Cause, like the games that they've been struggling, even against like Mammoth from memory, Mayfun invaded him at level 2, and because he lost the red buff, it felt like Balkan just crumbled. Because like the first time they meet, if he wins, I think PGG just win.
Well, let's see if PGG win. Hopefully they do for mine and Rusty's prediction. But at the same time, Champ Select's ready. Let's get in to game number 1 of the day.
Sonny Shao, thank you very much there, Mac. Week 7, can you believe it's the final day of round robin 2? And then it's only 1 week left after that. So it really is crunch time. And a big ask now for PGG. Let's start on the blue side and actually ban away the Volley, the Yuumi, and the Silas.
Yeah, the Silas ban to me is the standout, and I think what that speaks to me is that Yuri might have a Lissandra cooked up, ready to go, where Silas is one of the few matchups that Human plays that loves that, right?
Sure.
That can steal the ultimate and be super impactful when it comes to the skirmishing, which is exactly what Human is after. Wukong going to be locked in here first by Pentanet.gg, the second time ever that Balkan is going to be able to play that one. So looking forward to his performance. But the immediate response here, Skimmy, on the other side, this is blind, is that they've gone for the Renata with the Aphelios, which is really just putting the foot down and saying, if you play engage, we've got you covered.
And that's their first time ever playing this comp as well.
Yeah.
So that's incredibly insane, given the fact that Seraphine's been left up and available, and they've said, no, we don't actually want to go for that.
Exactly, yeah. I think this is saying to, like, recognizing that PGG's tendencies is to be aggressive. And Renata obviously loves an aggressive enemy because it is so much easier to play your champion perfectly with big impactful ults, but also some strong, firm handshakes as they are required. But you mentioned the Seraphine, Skimmy. Yeah, they're going to lock that one in. We don't know if it's going bot or mid yet.
Yeah.
It doesn't strike me as a Yuri champion, but I think that Seraphine is just strong enough that it has to be considered as an option regardless.
Just so many of these pocket picks have been denied. That means in a second rotation, we're only now getting a center ban coming out the side of Direwolves. Now, we have seen a Seraphine played in the bot lane with a whole handful of different pairings. Right, we've seen it with the Pike, we've seen it with the center. We saw it in NA just on LCS before with a Sejuani actually flexing towards the bot as well. So really pick your poison as to how do you want to try and dismantle, if it is to be in the bot lane, this Aphelios and Renata.
And I wouldn't doubt that Pentanet.gg have done their research with the Seraphine matchups around the world. Of course, Chippy's being their coach was a player in North America, so perhaps still has a place close to his heart and watches all of those games. Another ban going to come through away from Suman, so continuing to limit his champion pool, really wondering where he goes now. Silas and Akali gone, not many options left for the mid laner.
Certainly isn't, but this is another trick up their sleeve. Look at the two junglers having a bit of a crack out there. Another Shaco comes out to play. It's a Poltron specific, and it works wonders.
And it has received a couple of buffs, right, in the way of dealing damage. Plus, this is 12.12b, so even further buffs towards the damage output of the champion have been seen. So is much more fragile, can die extremely quickly. If Pentanet.gg were to lock in the Yasuo, even still, they would have really nice knock-up combos for it. But that Rakan being locked in does make me wonder if Yuri's playing this mid still.
Does certainly make you think that way.
You could probably Xayah Rakan into Direwolves' composition so far and be pretty comfortable with that as like a singular self-peel champion. But maybe even wanting more of a hyper carry just because you have... Okay, they're not going to do it.
There's the call. I mean, you raised this nice and early, right? The fact that if you've got a bit of Silas, it could just be you preempting a Lissandra. There's a few knockups. Maybe the Yasuo is going to come out to play for a little bit of excitement. Maybe a chance to try and get retribution after their defeat in the hands of it against Peace. But no, Lissandra final pick. And a great way now if, CMN was to try and flex himself as an assassin. You know, how do you play an assassin when Lissandra is there? Okay. There's the next champion. Would have been an Ahri, would have been a Swain, or would have had to be something new out of the mid laner.
Yeah, because you're probably not going to get an Orianna out of him from what we saw. We knew they were experimenting with the pick. And I think with a critical failure of it, we may not see that again from the Direwolves side. This does confirm that it is going to be Praedyth playing the Seraphine bottom lane. This should come as no surprise in reality. I also think the choice of Direwolves to go immediately towards the Aphelios and the Renata, sacrificing the Seraphine pick, does mean they just were prepared for it regardless. I don't think they care. There's a lot of utility playing into Rakan as Renata Glass also. Pretty straightforward to play into it. You can cancel the W. You can deny the full combo as well. If you're ready to go and if you can see the Rakan coming, you can actually press the ult, buffer it, and by the time he's come in, you've countered it with an ult of your own as you waft forwards the hostile takeover. Direwolves' composition as a whole, the Shaco is always going to be something that sticks out as weird. It's just the case, right? Looking at this composition, Camille top lane self-sufficient, Swain mid very self-sufficient, and that's quite important because they're also two very good gank setup lanes. Swain can hit the claw, Camille can hit the hook shot off the wall, and Shaco does have angles to get a lead. And Shaco needs a lead.
He does need a lead. He'll need that little bit of a ramp-up time, obviously, as well, to pop his head into a lane, prep a jack-in-the-box, and obviously allow that CC to layer from 1 to 2 to land that crucial punch. But yeah, certainly a Shaco from ahead. Terrifying. From behind, you're kind of just like, what is it? A bit of an annoyance on the map that will sometimes just make you get feared.
He was AP last time we saw it as well, Poltron, so I guess while being behind, you still are incredibly annoying. It also changes fairly fundamentally the way that you get to play, right? Needing sweepers earlier. Level 1s could be possible as well, so we might have an awkward coach interview ahead of us because standard affair against the Shaco is to take out all of the jack-in-the-boxes that he places at level 1, deny him a free jungle clear.
It's all on like Donkey Kong. A Seraphine is back in the mix. It's been let through the cracks. Both these teams ever so skirmish heavy. They love to have a good old fight. And has the read here from Direwolves to lock in Aphelios and Renata that early on to give up the Seraphine. Been a gamble that will pay off in their favor. Let's load into the ref for the first game of the day. LCO Week 7. Round Robin 2 coming to a close. And this one should really be the one to keep your eye on because both of these teams are tied in 3rd position. And that's the question we ask Valexis as he joins us on the line here. Valexis, mate, obviously, what a game. The fact that last time we went up against these guys, the prep was on point, the homework was there, huge win. So you got the head-to-head at the moment. Just how important with, 8 games remaining would a win here be today?
Pretty darn important. Yeah, I'd say for us to not only make playoffs, but also just to put a clear statement that we are a pretty decent team and we should be considered to be one. It's a pretty important game. Pentanet have been slumping, so this is our time to really show what we're made of.
Yeah, and it certainly looked like you weren't messing around with your draft. Instant lock with your bot lane straight out the gates. The fact that the Seraphine went through is just as a case of we actually think the Seraphine's overrated, or more so we're just going to play for a hyper-scaling AD carry in the bot lane. If it's going to be a passive affair, we'll just win late.
Yeah, I mean, Seraphine, I think is okay. I think she's obviously pretty good, but Praedyth on Seraphine, that makes me scratch my head. I picture him more of a hyper carry style, and yeah, he's playing Seraphine, so good luck to him.
At the end of the day, he's just playing Seraphine. Well, on a quick final note before we do jump out, obviously another Shaco performance, got the big buffs. Just how excited is Poltron to showcase that again?
Bro, all week, all I hear is Luck Shaco. All I hear every day is Luck Shaco. I sleep and all I hear is Poltron saying Luck Shaco. So with Luck Shaco.
We've logged it in. On that note, mate, I'm going to wish you boys the best of luck.
Cheers, thank you.
Makes you wonder if it's just to shut him up or if it's to lock it in. You would expect that the team of Direwolves here have got their merits, have got their reasons behind it. Just very quickly, while we saw the Shaco uninterrupted actually get his clear off. 2 boxes at the Wolves, a 3rd one to keep it busy so that he had enough time to get over there with the Smite. Ignite is the summoner spell of choice for Poltron. Ignite is also the summoner spell of choice for Zoranus, Bulldog, and Human has Unsealed Spellbook. So at level 6, he could have one also. They have a lot of fire. They have a lot of damage that can come from that. Poltron looking for a level 3 mid, potentially. Human would have to hit the claw, but we spoke about the setup being there.
Yeah, Balcon won't be here. He's only doing the blue buff now. Poltron is going to jump on in, looking for Yuri, who hits the claw away and just sidesteps everything.
If we quickly check with Human spells, I'm pretty sure he has W and Q instead of the claw. So in terms of setup for a gank, if that was known and planned by Direwolves, Human ticking over to 3 is the reason that he now has that ability, then that's just the wrong spell usage. Like, plain and simple. Why would you level the eye ever when you could have the claw to set up for a gank? But it fizzles, and now they've revealed the placement of their jungler. Pentanet.gg have priority in both mid and top. And so they're going to take away the red buff unless Poltron queues in and smites it.
This is absolutely huge. Yeah, Balkan just walks on in and secures double buff and a steal as well. And so it says, I won't be falling ahead, or falling behind, rather, in this game.
And I do wonder what will happen here with Yuri in mid. Claw just been wasted, so you should probably be able to force priority again on this next wave. With that in mind, I wondered if Balkan would consider going double scuttle, contest the bot one, but it seems like he's just going to go for a regular clear after taking away the red buff. Krugs is where the next point of contest will be for Poltron. You'll see Rogue actually just placing a ward there now. And then Sky's Bloom is going to be used towards mid to see the Lissandra coming instead.
Yeah, so he's looking to try and play towards his bot side now, given the fact that they will have the ability to push and reset. Question becomes, though, do they stick around? Because they're going to form a bit of a pinch here. Yes, Pentinet's bot lane is stuck underneath their turret, but I do believe Bulldog revealed himself for just a second there. They will see this.
Yeah, there's no way there's a dive here either, right? Because Praetor has got the teleport in the first place. Rogue could stay, Praetor could come back with mana.
Just protecting him in that bot tri-bush, isn't he?
Yeah, that's just about keeping them protected. The vision will do enough work there in the first place. Balkan going to do the natural point here, obviously, as well. He's going to go towards the enemy Krugs before he looks for either a top gank or towards a reset. They still know at all times where the Shaco is, right? And one of the hardest points of playing Shaco is getting a gank off successfully. Has got some of the most creativity when it comes to gank setup and positioning, but good wards just deny that completely.
Just the biggest credit right now in these first 5 minutes for Pentinet is their vision control. They're tracking off that jungler. The fact that the first gank didn't work, and look just how much worse it's really played as a result. They will spot out Balkan, as you see, as he'll be going back to base for that first big shot and comes back with a Sheen.
The Winter having a pretty good time for himself up here in top lane, all things considered, right? Had the wave in a perfect position. Just quickly checking in with these top waves, though. They're bouncing and crashing and building every single time. So this next wave that's about to build up from Winter is huge. And it's this really difficult to break ebb and flow of top lane when it gets set up this way.
And then Graviton, just looking for Rogue right now, but a nice shield there from the Seraphine will mean that the kill attempt is no longer on. Certainly was looking if that was to be a wave that was building up, given the fact that Balkan was working his way towards topside with the Sheen, the fact that Xeranis isn't going to burn the TP to try and break it either.
Well, it's that and also Poltron's pathing from bot to top. So by the time the wave crashes, there could be a Shaco up there. And that is an Ignite gap for extra damage in that 2v2 skirmish. We'll see how it comes into play. Yuri level 6, however. Perfect opportunity to move. And we spoke about the wave building, the chance that there's a gank there. Well, there's a chance there's a 3-man counter gank, and they might just walk onto a Poltron here. Ghost Poro sees him.
Phenomenal timing here from the side of Pentinet. Straight in with the Frozen Tomb. And he finds himself a very icy death. There's the Gnar against the wall. And what can Xeranis do about this one? He doesn't have level 6 though, Rusty. Hook shot connects. Lands onto Balkan. He's got the Ignite. Burns it nice and early. Just had a range for the turret shot. But in comes Seaman to play cleanup crew. He needs to try and go forward. He would like to flash for the uptime, but I don't think he can run them down and has to settle for trimming the wave.
And Seaman does well to get here, right? Has actually found himself a sizable lead as far as mid lane is concerned. Yuri will get himself out with a nice claw. And it does mean that the recall from Winterer will also be confirmed. But the initial play was so clean by Pentinet.gg, right? They just had the exact knowledge of where they wanted to be. We spoke about the top waves crashing and building. They play around that.
Yeah.
That's just bread and butter Pentinet.gg play style. But because they have permanent priority in mid, Yuri starts to sacrifice a little bit from himself to guarantee the plays around the map work.
And it was just so good to see, right? The idea of we know what's about to happen in the top lane. You call it out, that wave's about to build up. Balkan's on his way. There's an ability for mid to continue to have that degree of control that they can just roam and just on a dime make it look ever so effortless, and really giving us a bit of a throwback to what made Pentinet so strong before.
And actually, for me, it's the joys of seeing a Ghost Poro do something useful.
Sure.
One of the very rare times that it can be used, because normally you'll see a zombie ward from everybody. But Ghost Poro, of course, leaving something there once you take away vision from your opponents to sweep through, or the remnants of your own ward rather from Balkan that time he placed it on that Krug take. It's almost like a reactive play that results in them getting vision to know that Poltron was there to counter gank.
And the Blast Cone, which is perfect,
and then
wasn't it?
Blast Cone straight in, they find the opportunity. Really clean, and once again, Balkan's got a read. The Shaco's getting nothing done presently.
He really isn't. He's been tracked every single moment of this game, and even if he wants to try and play for that top crab respawn, it's just not going to be the case. Smarted away there by Balkan as both junglers now rush their way towards level 6 as quickly as they can. But yeah, first blood in the top lane. It's on for Pentinet.
Let's talk about why this draft is really exciting for a second here from Pentinet.gg as a whole, because this feels meta. Like, barring the Seraphine Rakan, which is more banned than not seeing a Seraphine, they've just picked 5 pretty standard meta champions. That's not often the case. They tend to play their own unique styles. They've had Nidalee's Graves in the jungle role, but this time around it is so unbelievably stock standard. And that's kind of what we've been hearing from some of the other players in the LCO as well. Yuri's the best mid laner in the league if he plays normal champions. Well, that's what you're seeing.
Perhaps they have really had that meditation course, as you mentioned. He had a chance to rest and recruit as he played a Kalista in the mid lane, but this Lissandra so far is putting in work. Direwolves, though, will get a chance to try and really play from ahead. This dragon will not be contested, but the trade will be that Pentanet get the Herald in exchange.
And potentially very advantageous Herald take here as well for PGG, but they have to respect the bottom side of the map. Praedyth is currently in prison, and Rogue needs to really respect his way walking towards bottom. You can see he walks a semi-safe route. Styles with full vision control of the bottom red side quadrant of the map. No longer belonging to PGG, but Wukong doing the same thing at the red buff. Zoranus will spot him, but it's a Mega Gnar in the bush.
He's got a hook shot away, nicely buffed as the Cyclone came out. Winter just ticking Mega Dead. It was a lot of CC where he couldn't move away, and that hook shot really did just save his life.
I feel like there is only one way to play out the hook shot if you're Wukong into it, is that you have to wait for it to connect to the wall before you cancel it. If you get to do that, you'll get your second ultimate off.
Sure.
Because he doesn't cover the distance, you've cancelled the dash part of it.
Into trouble. Is he going to flash? Just out of range there from Yuri, who couldn't find it. He's going to turn back on him and say, your claw doesn't look anywhere near as good as mine. A self-cast to the ult, the drag back of Volkan. In they go for the kill. A 2-man route, and there's a Hextech ultimate. And where you going to, Yuri? Nowhere this time. You didn't have a flash, and you don't have a life.
Yeah, no ultimate there from the Wukong, and really just baiting in a play that gets completely countered. Zoranus, the MVP in this situation, finds an opportunity to go mid, had no safe space top, so it was just free on the map. Checks the red buff, forces the Wukong ultimate, stays near mid, baits the play outright. They react to seeing Pentanet.gg being aggressive, and they counter it brilliantly. I mean, that is big stuff. And like you heard, a communicator of the team here, one of the primary shot callers, found his angle.
And that's what you can ask for right now, because both these teams clearly are playing towards different strengths in different areas. Pentanet heavily invested in their top half of the map, as we see Winter out. Throws Rennes up against the wall. However, Direwolves bot lane is steadily pulling ahead right now. And I'll be hoping that stays the same, given you have an Aphelios with an Enchanter ready to give him all the attack speed in the world.
So quick time to check in here as well. Just in terms of CS, 10 minutes into the game, you've got the Aphelios well and truly on the clock. Suman on this Swain had been outperforming mid in terms of farm. Yuri has been sacrificing it for the purpose of first move or priority. But top is very, very comfortably ahead for Winter. Has received the bulk of the attention from his team and has been prospering. Once again, speaking of attention towards top lane, you're seeing a big wave, cannon wave start to build, threatening the crash. Poltron already here in advance with boxes down. They really want to keep Zoranus in this.
They've read the playbook though, haven't they? They've seen that Pentanet were probably looking to try and stack up another wave, force another fight. Rennes was in a situation where he looked like he could have just got collapsed upon. Wasn't to be. What are we watching here?
Oh no, he left the eye, didn't he?
Oh.
Uh-oh. Poopy.
Things he wishes nobody saw.
And we didn't.
So, okay, so basically Direwolves just got the dragon.
Yeah, for free.
There wasn't a trade.
For free.
That just seems highly illegal.
Sometimes you just get so lost in the sauce. You don't see the way out, or you forget where you are. Look, we honestly assumed you picked it up. We're not used to it.
When I see a replay of that, I'm like, what can be funny about this? He didn't pick up the Herald.
I'm pretty sure nothing could go wrong here, unless even pro players make mistakes, guys.
Unfortunate.
But that's a big oopsie.
Well, certainly one his team won't be too happy about. Could have been a great way for them to try and exploit their lead even further. Just look how far Winter is right now. Huge, huge lead. Obviously, a lot of pressure went towards this lane, but a Herald have done wonders to get that turret down, so he can also roam, much like this Camille.
In saying that, Zoranus has got a kill and assist, has actually got his mythic completed because he has the magical footwear. So up until the point that Winter shops again, they're pretty much even, if not slightly ahead for Zoranus in regards to items, but 2 levels down in experience, right, is one of the big points here. Because so many got missed under a turret. Winter was the recipient of a lot of experience for himself. But otherwise, I mean, the game is pretty much dead even. That extra Drake pickup was really nice by Direwolves. Bulldog's been working with Poltron to secure permanently the enemy Raptor camp. They're going to show themselves mid.
Don't do it, Dante. It's not worth it.
He's...
Oh, it's not worth it, Dante, please.
Oh, no.
Just walk away. They spent so long, an early flash away, but the charm comes out. The Renata with a cloud that says it's not going to do much but tickle. And now Simon's going to try and answer back by taking out Yuri. He's on vision.
Cleanse. I'm surprised he didn't cleanse and go for it. He's just going to wait. Got him.
Oh, he's got him. Locked inside his claws. And an exhaust comes out, but does nothing.
Human still with flash in hand. There should be 0 ways that he dies here.
3-man collapse. Goes to Demonic Ascension. He's going to
baiting.
go golden for a second. He's going to completely sidestep all the damage from a Senate Fiend. Oh, he cleanses! The encore was good, but he didn't have enough health to juggle with, and there's no backup from the side of Direwolves to make sure that he gets something out of that.
That was the least necessary follow-up there from the Direwolves ever, however, right? Like, the play's nice. You've got to pick. You have flash and cleanse. Flash the wall. Just get out with your life. But he chooses to use a stopwatch to bait, then uses his flash and cleanse, and still dies for no reason as Pidgey going again.
Oh, it's so messy, Rusty, but it does continue. From respawn, back we go. TP's flooding on in, but Pentanet do have a numbers advantage. Zoranus not even entertaining the idea. He just wants to push out topside. Winter is here. He didn't have a TP in, anyway, even if he wanted. And Winter can just look to answer before the wave crashes for free.
And really just bringing the top laner down will always guarantee the Drake, but this is one of those situations where you just got to know when to take the win. You've made the mistake bottom. Dante's been picked off. Dante's been caught.
Still hasn't shopped. Still hasn't shopped, has Nas, so certainly has a lot of kill pressure right now if we look to try and entertain it.
Yeah, close to Mega. Too close to Mega to really commit to an all-in. And again, in terms of experience, Winter is actually still ahead. But yeah, the big point there is that Dante, unfortunately, is the recipient of a hard engage from Pentanet.gg, right? He dies.
They spent like 50 seconds camping that bot lane bush.
They spent a lot of time and they were very patient in trying to find him, and they do. And then Human just organically finds the 1-for-1, finds the trade. That's good, right? You can just let that be as a win. But unfortunately, they try doubling down and they do get punished. AP Shaco isn't exactly the easiest thing to set up with when you've got a Swain as your bait. And a numbers disadvantage on the map.
Ultron just lurking in the shadows there, cooking up another Kinder Surprise to give them a bit of happiness, or perhaps a bit of a charm. Trading with the major support ultimates as the TP comes in, and well, now Zoranus is looking to try and answer back and say which straggler will survive. He sidesteps everything, but then gets clamped upon by the Camilla ultimate. That's a shutdown. Now that's 2. And now top lane looks even more spicy.
And let me ask you a question, Skimmy. Why? Why would they know full well, right? You've just watched Winterer group up, Rogue in trouble.
We're still going for more. The stun connects. There's the handshake. Firm handshakes all around. The business deal complete for Direwolves.
Zoranus will get 2 kills and recall back to top lane feeling extremely happy with the outcome of this.
Why not 3?
The push is going to get answered. Yeah, why not a 3rd?
Why not? Just look for it. The encore going to connect onto the entirety of the bot lane. He can't answer back. Bulldog.
Oh.
Unbelievable. Just out of turret range. The minion won't kill him.
Yuri
Run.
walking bottom. Sees a low health Zoranus.
Run for the hills.
Not going to get it.
Ultron though. Clutch ultimate there. Such fine margins, because there's a world surely where you entertain it as Yuri to go for the 1v3. You got ultimate, you got flash. Maybe. Even with Everfrost.
Maybe if he flash W'd and cancelled the hook shot, he could have got at least the 1 kill right, but that's a big commitment. I think what matters for Pentanet.gg is he keeps them busy. They guarantee the top lane out of turret. There's no world that Poltron can really deal with Winterer. Again, this AP Shaco tech needs a lot of things to go right really quickly if you want to have a shot, and Winterer being Meganar means that shot is completely gone. The big takeaway here is go back minutes to the start of the play where Pentanet.gg are diving with teleport disadvantage because they brought Winterer down for the Drake. He teleports to top lane, and so you know full well that Camille's just going to teleport down if you try and dive. And not only do they go for the dive, they get caught on the execution at the start, and by so much time with a Renata ult and a handshake that connects, the teleport comes through. And then it just goes from bad to worse.
Certainly seems to be a case here where both teams know just how skirmish heavy they are, how reliant they are on fueling their fire to get themselves a lead in that fashion, that they'll entertain any idea. Even if they are baiting, they'll just say, we're going for it. And we've now seen it on 2 separate occasions, right? Seaman and Poltron baiting. Zoranus just getting handily rewarded for going for a roam where you're thinking it's 1, but he gets more. He got free.
Yeah, I mean, it's predictable in a certain sense, right? And that is one thing about both of these teams that is good and bad, of course, right? Being able to perfect a certain playstyle is crucial. Yuri is in a whole host of trouble here if he gets spotted. Is now going to be seen on the wave. 3 people behind him. How does he get out?
He's got no one to back him up, so the claw's going to go out first of all, but it just gets cancelled. That's a Camille ultimate, and you can't run away. A self-cast of the ult, going to buy himself 2.5 seconds, but a handshake will be sidestepped, not even going to land. The box from that Shaco, not going to matter. And then that final damage coming out of Q number 2. Now looking for Balkan, who...
Okay.
He's going to have a look at things. As the hostile takeover really will make them just play slappy hands.
Yeah, they'll just mean look at each other, and Direwolves will be able to walk away from this. You've got Drake up in 30 seconds. Yuri does have teleport and will be up in 15. So Pentanet.gg not out of the skirmish as far as the Drake is concerned, and they are going to now keep Winter in the area. Has got his executioners calling alongside that Trinity Force, and they did pick up the Eye of the Herald this time around, Skimmy. So not as bleak as it seems, and this is a big thing because quite simply Direwolves put so much effort into making that play onto Yuri, and while successful, they leave themselves vulnerable to a counterpunch, and PGG find it.
Question is though, next Drake is up in 5 seconds here, so what can they find as a result? Brave going to chuck out the beat. Not find anything he can on that drop.
They will waste their second sweeper here though for just a Jack in the box. It'll grant them access towards mid, but Poltron playing this AP Shaco wants them to come towards him, Yuri.
Big angle, and a juke onto, well, it tried to be into Poltron, he tried to ult away, it wasn't clean enough. That's a massive shot from Winter! The entire team of Dire will suppress, but they managed to get away. Nobody dies, the claw goes back in, and some way, Pentanet are looking more wounded than their opponents.
Yeah, really big mistake from Balkan. Massive ultimate from Winter, but gets completely negated by the Shaco clone. And Direwolves just get to stand strong and deliver. Teleport's going to come back through Rogue. Just missed on the handshake. He's hit the Drake.
I doesn't know where to go.
He's
The
now
Drake's been
attacked the
aggroed.
Drake.
Dante, you need to run to the hills, run down to bot lane into the waiting arms of your support. There's the bailout. No, it's not. That's the blast going over the wall. Is he in range? He's got the bailout. He needs a kill. He can't find that reset. Now Bulldog is compromised. Balkan is low, and Zorenis is 4-1-2, so he's very strong. But Rogue this entire time has been on the biggest trek, running all across the rift to get out of harm's way.
He's running for his life. He's been on 1 HP and 0 mana this entire time. What's a Rakan to do? He's going to find Bulldog here and now has to do another circle.
It doesn't stop.
He's just going to execute. He's like, I'm sick of it. What's the point? He could have lived, you know.
He could have lived. He could have just recalled. Oh, well, there goes Zorenis. He certainly could not have lived. That was a
Balkan on a
frozen
wide
tomb.
flank, no ult.
Winter running on in, and Balkan doesn't have an ult, but he has a challenging smite, and he's got a fair bit of damage as he jumps on in, looks for that headbutt, looks for that kill, but he cannot find it. Poltron answers back and removes him from the game. Winter, and now Mega, he's got a lot of AD, but sidesteps the boulder, he can't find it. Dominic Ascension, that's a huge shield from the Seraphine, and Seaman goes down. How many ignites does it take to try and kill any member here from Pentanet? Poltron, surely, 1v2, there's a smite, how do you do? And maybe no more than that.
And Winter will be escorted towards the top side of the map where there is nothing there for him to take. Poltron with the setup 3 Jack in the box is going to deny any kind of entrance here, and all the teleports were used except for Yuri. Drake will be theirs, but it will only be the second Drake of the game, and it will only be a Cloud Drake. So I don't think there is too much to be upset about. I mean, damage in the last team fight was the second half of the skirmish from what I can gather, as most of the damage was Winter, and Zorenis immediately dies before the hookshot connects. So that's where this skirmish started. And Balkan just walks into a Jack in the box, human presses R, and quite simply, the entire team fight becomes about Winter. Funny Gnar interaction, however, is that you still stack Mega by hitting your teammates with the hostile takeover. So Winter probably is low-key saying thank you very much for dying for the cause, Yuri, but I hit Mega Gnar and I'm good to go. And then Poltron, of course, will come through after Praetor helps out to make sure that they get some trades. But still, the Shaco perseveres.
Well, he does. And what a game. If you want entertainment, we go straight out of replay, back to live, and back to a familiar situation. Human is goal, but now he's dead. He's got the bailout, but he cannot be bailed. Massive encore, going to connect on the entire team. The extended range putting in work, and Pentanet aren't done yet. They want more. They're looking for Zorenis underneath his own tower, but easier said than done to try and lock down a Camille.
Zorenis will survive, and Poltron, as you can see, is also placing down some boxes to make sure they can't just do Baron for free. However, there is a chance they still get that Baron buff. Blue weapons there for Aphelios inside the pit could be very impactful. Dial's in the area.
Surely they entertain the idea of a cheeky Moonlight Vigil with
Human
a
up
box.
in 10 with teleport as well.
Zoranus, Ignite, Ult. All the tricks in the basket to try and make it happen. Poltron's going to walk in there with his clone. They say, don't hit it, don't do it! It didn't get stolen! Balkan, he's clean on that smite button, and he guarantees his team will get it.
Securing the Baron is really clutch there. And PGG, I mean, Balkan.
Oh, no way! That's a catastrophic mistake. Zoranus has gone on in, and he's missed the second charge of that hook shot. He hasn't got the lockdown, and Winter is playing out of his mind this game.
They're still hunting. They are still looking, but just not going to be able to find it. I mean, Seraphine is obnoxious. You're seeing it through the shielding, the sustainability that's coming out, but at the same time, Zoranus keeps trying to hookshot engage and instantly dying. One time it is straight into the belly of the beast. The second time there is a Meganar standing in front of him. He's like, what's up? Like, what are you doing?
Definitely tried a bit of a staunch off. Didn't work out in his favor, how with it.
Yeah, not really seeing the impact from Dante, unfortunately, for Direwolves thus far, right? 0-2, struggling to have an impact on the map. And if it comes down to it, Aphelios scales really nice into the game for sure. From this point on, you're expecting to see some high-impact team fighting from him, but it's the picks that start here from PGG first and foremost. Yuri teleporting zones Dante away. Bulldog, level 9 on his Renata, not going to have the ult cooldown up yet. And even then, the ultimate is fairly weak up until level 11 for Renata. So they just find their window of opportunity, and I think this relentless aggression, this constant pace that PGG are keeping is really starting to push Direwolves onto the back foot, who want to be slower, who want to set up the Shaco boxes, who want to set up positioning and angles. No chance.
No chance at all to try and persevere in that fashion, and they are getting pressed upon big time now. Baron buff is up and available for another minute 20. So they're putting in good work right now. 2 items complete for the Camille. Ravenous Hydra there for that split push pressure, and he's going to try and answer back even without objective bounties on the cards. 24 minutes in, 4k lead so far here for Pensnet. A massive Baron buff by their call. But can they open up the Nexus by taking down an inhib? That's the next question.
I think so far, Praetor has definitely proven why this is a pick ban champion here in the LCO so far. Seraphine feels like it has a quiet early game, but it really comes to life in these team fights where you get to group up as 5 people strong, and that's exactly what their composition wants to do. Balkan, you know, predictably wants to dive. You picked a Rakan to go with it, so you're complementing your jungler. I think as far as the style is concerned, everything going right here.
DTP in the Baron pit right now. That is from Yuri. He's looking to try and cut off the angles of any form of retreat. A TP away, and you can't catch me. So just a summon a trade-off, but he kept his life intact.
You got Drake up in 50 seconds here as well. No Baron for a little while, as it's about to fizzle out on the side of PGG. So just a bit of a Hail Mary there. If they're able to get that pick, fair enough. That could actually get them a free Drake. Balkan says hello to Poltron. That hello was extremely painful. We haven't had much of a chance to replay anything in this game because the second you go to, the fight continues or just constantly happens.
He is relentless there. Rogue not going to get baited by that one, but still is going to expire and pop out the Bermuda Triangle of damage and just pure confusion. 15 seconds, and as you say, next Drake up and available.
And you can see this if you're Direwolves. Right now, I think the game plan should be quite simply let Zoranus split push, get 3 items on your ADC. Human, as it stands, has got a fairly high DPS build, but is still going to be a bit more facilitative, as is Poltron on this Shaco. Definitely much more the ability haste, just spamming the W's type of build coming out of Poltron with the Cosmic Drive. And Boots of Lucidity, in fact, is just a low cooldown Shaco. They want to slow the game down. They don't want to let Fenton at the GG force the fight, but they've got Poltron again.
They certainly have. They found what they're after. Remove the jungler, remove the question of a smite going out. He's still alive, though. A flash across the wall. He still managed to deceive them. They baited him, Balkan, and he bit off a little bit more than he can chew. The elusive nature of a slippery Shaco proves to be too much.
There's no one like him, is there? There's just no one like him in the LCO. Balkan is one of a kind. We love the vibes that he puts out, but sometimes it's just a little bit too potent. And he absolutely gets punished for it. That was a good health trade. You've chunked out Poltron. They don't want to base.
Oh, there's a flash frozen to him. This time the hookshot buffer won't connect. Tragedy there as he tried to run away and hoped that the game would be on his side.
This is one of those situations, though, where I feel like Zoranus chooses to go on a bit of an expedition for no good reason. There's nothing there. There's no blue buff to take. You've got Vision of Wolves, sure, but what's the point? And you know that they've just pushed in that bottom wave, so... Mismatch of timings, perhaps, in Zoranus' mind, but either way, the decision itself gets punished very nicely by PGG.
Also, we have a bit of a lull point here. Also, it is worth noting we're still playing on patch 12.12b, not the current version of 12.13, where Leandries now can stack, which is going to be quite cool to look forward to, right? So, a big change to look forward to on that one, right? With the stacking of those items, the fact that obviously now items like the lethality will now give you movement speed as well, which is quite cool. So, things to certainly look forward to. But at the moment, if you are just tuning in, we are still on 12.12b. And, I mean, I'll go back to your point you mentioned before for Dante, right? Both of his deaths have just been from picks, right? The fact that he went all the way down bot lane, 50-second bush camp, resulted in his kill, then a collapse when he was surrounded upon by that Drake team fight as well. Hasn't truly been able to come online here and showcase what an Aphelios can do with 3 items.
But we're almost at that point, right? Concede the Drake, play for the next one, play for the Baron, try and get the Infinity Edge there from this Aphelios. One big team fight could completely swing the game into the favor of the Direwolves, and I do think that's what a lot of their composition comes down to. Pentanet.gg, however, with no hesitations, will start it again.
Red, white, he's got the double buff as well.
Winter Omega.
Too far away from the IE on that as well. Lots of flashes up and available. Winter Operative as well as Rogue. They can look to try and lay down that CC. As Balkan's called out Aphelios. It's a one-man ult. Where are you going? Where's his team? You're going to die. He's just gone off screen.
What on earth is he doing?
What is Balkan doing, Rusty?
Balkan has enlisted to Direwolves, and he's just decided...
It's a 4v5. Zoranus is pushing bot lane. He's just laughing straight to the bank.
They have obviously included mind control tech into competitive league. They will now get the bot lane inner turret. They will hit the Baron themselves. The only risk here is that a team fight from PGG could still wipe the one big Seraphine ult, one big Rakan ult. The angles exist. They have to respect teleports are going to come through from both top laners now.
Winter is coming in. He's very close to Mira as well. Watch that point. The Drake, can it be stolen? Yuri, he doesn't have the spike to try and use it with that unsealed spellbook. So Direwolves really luck out and actually get to steal away a Baron.
Yuri absolutely is watching some faker VODs back there for a second. Almost went for an identical angle to the Baron still, but there's no smite to actually enable that to happen. And the teleport from Zoranus, a really good deterrent. There definitely was a chance they took it, but I think they would rather be cautious. They would rather wait and not make a mistake than really flip the game on a dime. And
3 times the charm.
Suman has Zhonya's. Suman does have ult. He's level 16.
This has worked multiple times this game. The Frozen Tomb, the ult, and the charm. This time he can go golden again, so he's weathered the storm of all that CC, but there's just still more to come. If it ain't CC, it's just pure damage.
Yeah, they were just a little bit too quick on the uptake to start that fight off. He wasn't going to be able to react with ult, nor Zhonya's, nor Flash to get out with his life. Still playing towards the bottom side of the map is Direwolves now that they see PGG reveal themselves topside. Dante does have that Infinity Edge and some.
Yeah.
Compliments of one hell of a teamfight attempt by Balkan.
That's the trade-off now. You traded a mid-tier 2 for a pick on the top lane. Another 20 seconds and he's down.
Spotted.
And it's going to spawn quite
And
nicely,
ignited.
right? He's going to respawn. He can TP in for that Drake fight that's about to begin, but Balkan is just jumping in on his own. His team are so far away. Moonlight Vigil just out of range. Even with the flamethrower, he's attacking and he's removed Yuri from the equation. Now he's going to fight himself a second as Direwolves have just completely lucked out in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, they keep being given angles. Balkan about to find the teleport, has the W.
Yeah, he certainly is. Simon's going to rock up to the team fight. A flash and a blast cone. That has honestly worked wonders. A sidestep with the Demon Eyes.
Ooh.
And Balkan
He's burning.
can't really believe his situation as he is juking, jiving, and running a mark. And I saw Rogue do this.
But look at Direwolves pushing mid. The inhibitor falls for sure. The question is, what beyond this? 20 seconds on Praetor.
They're still going for the fight, but the fight breaks out inside the base itself right now. All the attention goes on towards Dante. Those Baron-inspired cannons are putting work towards those turrets themselves. It's a shutdown, and now they're looking for another on towards Rogue. Why are these two still running off my screen? We'll never quite know. But what Direwolves will is their 2-0 up against Pentanet.
And the way this game started, that is not the result that you would expect to see. But I can confidently say that Direwolves are just the superior hypnotist in this one, this best of one between squads. You can see the salute there from Dante saying thank you very much for your engaged efforts. Nice peel by Direwolves. To be fair, the Renata pick, like we spoke about, early pick in draft, was super clutch when it came to team fights, but you could really feel what felt like desperation for no apparent reason in even if not winning game state from PGG. Just threw it all away.
Yeah, a couple of big engages there from Volkan with absolutely no follow-up or no team around. Interesting. Now, I'm only salty because I got my prediction wrong, honestly. It was a great game. Direwolves was doing a real good job, and I was so keen to catch up to Skimmy, and now I'm 2 behind. We'll see if that changes throughout the day. But look, this game itself, Direwolves now up in second for the moment with Order with this win. PGG are going to be sitting pretty in third still. And as you mentioned, of course, that head-to-head swinging back in Direwolves' favour. So 2 and zip. If we get all the way through round 3 and these two teams are tied up, Direwolves are going to be leapfrogging them on the scoreboard. So a very, very big dub. And look, you have to give it to the likes of Sealman, right? Man, I want to see this damage chart. I want to see exactly what he's going to be doing because he was always there, always pumping damage and just doing so much work for Direwolves.
Yeah, I think this Swain in the middle of all these fights, although he did get caught sometimes by this Lissandra, which was really good picks coming out of PGG, and I think they should have just kept doing this type of style where they just kept going for those side lane picks on Suman because he did make those misplays. But I actually thought PGG was going to win from how Draft came out because they have a 24/7 fighting comp, which really suits their team style where CC after CC, you just chain it up and you get to the Aphelios, which is really easy to pull off. But, you know, I don't want to say it, but I have to say it. Balkan's engages are just, yes, they might look good, or I think maybe it's pressure, but...
That was a joke. I thought they looked terrible. But look, let's look at the gold graph. That's ridiculous. That's the leaning tower of Direwolves, just straight down 4K in the end. Although, look, have a look at that. It's only 4K either way, so it kind of emphasizes the dip. It wasn't an 8K
The thing I will say about PGG's comp as well is that it does feel like the damage drops off a lot. Like, they did kind of put themselves on a clock where they were relying on Na and Wukong as their primary physical damage. You can see it reflected through damage done by Praedyth.
Yeah.
Seraphine's not picked for her high damage. It's picked because you can have a wombo team fight, right? And have the enchanters and out sustain, but you have to engage and disengage properly for that to matter. And I don't think I ever saw Seraphine on the same screen as the Wukong, and I don't think that's Praedyth's fault. So, doesn't help your comp actually succeed.
Yeah, it was a little interesting, you know, and I want to see, like, I thought there was going to be way more damage from Seum in there, and it ended up being, was it Zoranus? Not Zoranus. Was Zoranus with the most damage? Was it Dante?
It was very close between all of them.
Yeah, just good team effort all across the board, and I got confirmation it was just Dante. And look, we did highlight a few times, it was sitting back saying, well, Dante's having a bit of a quiet game, getting caught out a little bit early game, but then really just scaled back in. I think he was very, very close to getting that Flame Horizon over the top of Praedyth, who was obviously just focused on fighting.
But to be fair, they do have so much engage for Aphelios, whereas an unmobile hypercarry ADC, it's pretty hard to avoid those deaths, which I really enjoyed the Renata. Although PGG didn't have an AD heavy comp, the Renata with her ulti, because of PGG's playstyle, they all engage in a line, if you know what I mean. So Renata ult gets a lot of value from that, and we did see from that one team fight in mid lane where I believe it was Yuri that kind of just ulted or flashed into a Renata and he insta died. So
yeah, little awkward. And on that note, you know how you had a little awoo earlier? You wanna have a second take at that?
Because we have Bulldog for our interview.
I like that. Yeah.
Congratulations on your win, my dude. So you guys actually let open Seraphine since I believe it was quite a long time ago since we've ever seen a Seraphine. So was this something you guys predicted and planned for? Because you looked really prepared with that Renata.
I mean, low-key, the Seraphine for 80 was surprising, but like if Praedyth is on that type of pick, we're happy. He's kind of a hyper carry late game type of guy, so our team was happy with that.
Yeah, you looked pretty happy. Now talk to me about that bot lane, because at the start it looked very rough. It looked like what was the mental like throughout this game?
Nah, that lane was free. Me and Dante holding it down for the squad.
Beautiful.
Loving the energy always from Bulldog.
Yeah.
But I do want to know, so is this just something to do with the boys that has this mind control power? Because we did see Balkan going for some very questionable engages and just going in at the most, like, I don't know, man. Like, what's
Look, our comms at the end when we won were a bit toxic, but we're praising Balkan for ending that game for us.
That was a game. That's all I need to say. There was a lot going on. Bulldog, we're gonna let you go. Can I get an awoo before we lose you?
Wait. Uwu or awoo?
No skimmy business. Awoo. Yeah.
Awoo.
Beautiful. On that note, we'll let you go. Congrats on the
Congrats.
Peace.
Yeah. Check out these guns. He's just flexing. It's like we're asking him questions. He's just like looking at himself in the camera. Just these ones. Crazy. All right. Their MVP discussion time. Who's it gonna be? Is it someone from PGG? Is it someone from Direwolves?
I wanna give it to
honorable
Winterer.
mention to Winterer?
Yes.
Like at least? Because like he was like 6-0-6 before they lost
My
the
man
game.
was playing out of his mind. He's like,
Yeah.
Balkan, please.
He tried his best. And I'm not kidding. If you watch the game back, there was a team fight where Winterer hits like a 4-man ult at the same time that Balkan uses his Q on a fake Shaco and just denies everything that comes from the ult. So Winterer tried his best is what I'm saying.
What about, is Zoranus in the discussion? There was a couple of awkward moments, but like great engages.
Yes. And Bulldog, because I think that the pure disengage is something that flies under the radar in terms of impact, but like did exactly what he needed to do to win that game.
Okay, so who gets it? Skimmy, you choose today.
No. Well, we haven't even heard Kitty's voice yet.
Kitty, you choose.
I was gonna do a fighting case, but I guess I get to choose who the MVP
just choose.
is.
Yeah, you just choose. Yeah.
Let's give it to my man Zoranus because we do know he's feeling a little sick. So let's give him some like gifts.
Yeah, beautiful. Their MVP of match number 1 of the day, Zoranus. Big start. Look, interesting. He got forced out of lane, had to go for a couple of roams, but he turned it into good ganks. Got those early leads, also split pushed when their objectives up to try to draw attention. Doing a lot of macro work today to keep Direwolves in the game. And then, look, just existing allowed them to take the big fatty dubs. So only had 60% KP, but look, I think that's relatively decent for a top laner, right?
I was actually really impressed with how he played, right? Because he did cop a lot of attention in those early ganks. The fact is he went down, 2 levels? He was down about 30 CS at some points, but he roams down bot, picks up a triple kill, rocks around the map, and is just perma-split pushing and saying, if you don't deal with me, then something's going to happen. And maybe that's the pressure that happens.
Full Janna.
He certainly went full Janna and said, we're running it back, Janna smite top, we're making it work, but I'm playing Camille, so it's just better.
I'd never want to see that again, and I never want to see you again for at least 5 minutes because it's time for a break. Ladies and gents, jump off the couch, get yourself a dare, and we'll be back with game number 2 just after this. It's Peace up against Grav.
Quite nicely, right? He's going to respawn. He can TP in for that Drake fight that's about to begin, but Balkan is just jumping in on his own. His team are so far away. Moonlight Vigil just out of range. Even with the flamethrower, he's attacking and he's removed Yuri from the equation. Now he's going to fight himself a second.
Hey, look, Menulog.
I'm gonna give you guys a hint. It is indeed in the 40s, but you know.
Okay, it's in the 40s. Are you aware of what it is?
Guys, come on.
Guys, you got to ask questions.
Oh.
This is your phone call.
Oh.
I think
Kitty's throwing up gang
42.
signs. She's throwing up gang signs. I'm convinced. Yeah, 42. I'm with you, Max.
Let's lock it in.
Lock it
Lock her
in
in?
C.
Well, thank you, Kitty. Bye, Kitty. We'll see you next phone a friend if there's another one allowed. But we don't know if that is. Anyways, lock in C.
Yes.
All right, lock her in. Are you correct?
Oh, look at us go.
Oh,
3
all
for
over
3.
it.
Yes.
Absolutely all over.
Hi, Mark. How you doing?
Great.
Happy to be here?
Of course.
All right. You want to get started?
No.
All right. We're going to get started. Which player has the best fashion taste?
Oh, Jake, this is the thing.
That's all right.
Probably not you.
You can... I dress good, man.
Yeah,
What about the whole dapper thing?
We have a hype beast in our team. I don't know if you've noticed. His name is Balkan.
Actually, Balkan's
has like...
got some fashion.
Yeah.
But there's different styles, right? But
No, he's
I
ripped.
do look good in a
He's
suit.
ripped.
So you got to think about that too.
I'll think about it.
All right,
Yeah,
glad
it's
you're
Balkan.
considering.
Yeah, it's
all right.
Balkan, yeah. Which player tilts you the most personally?
Balkan has his moments. I think we all know. And I think all of our Koreans have their moments. We had a few famous incidents with some of our Korean players.
Definitely not me or you.
Yeah, definitely not us. We're the
Yeah.
Titans. We're
Yeah.
the Titans of the team.
Yep.
We will 0-10 it and we'll take all the heat.
Yep.
I'm ready. I'm like, fill me with bullets. I'll be like the Neeb, like protecting my team. Which player has the most soothing voice? And who would make a great song artist?
It's kind of hard, right? Because it's like, Yuri doesn't really speak, but when he does, it's like,
Yeah, Yuri's got a nice one actually.
he has a nice voice, but it's like, he could just be like,
Sometimes-
conserving his voice.
Sometimes you'll go like 2 games without Yuri speaking.
Yeah. My favorite is when I'm like 0-10 in scrims, and he's just like smurfing carrying the game. He's just like so sad, man.
Yeah. 0-4 in a
I
scrim.
was like, it's okay. I like
Oh,
death.
Mark's so sad.
Yeah. Honestly, I can picture Dongy being like a rapper, Wintra.
Remember?
He could be like a rap artist. This is the hard question.
This is a hard one.
What's your favorite thing about having me as a roommate?
Oh no, that's not. I don't have to think hard at all. It's easy. It's like I live alone.
I knew he was gonna say that.
Literally, it's like we have like tag in, tag out sleep schedules. I see Mark make coffee, and that's it. He's like the opposite sleep to me. So he's like awake during night. He doesn't make too much noise. I chuck a fan on. He's not even there. And I've never like I don't think I've ever seen you like cook, other than like tendies.
Yeah.
Like tendies and ramen.
But we've been having conversations recently.
Yeah, we do. We do talk more.
Because I've been waking up earlier.
It's true.
Yeah. But I'll be back to my degenerate ways
Mark's
soon.
a pleasant roommate. He likes my plants too. I didn't really give you any option. I kind of just came home with like a 2-meter tall fern. Was like, it's here to see
I don't
now.
mind it. It's a nice roommate.
It is, and I had like the scent diffuser.
Yeah, that's good. That one's
Yeah,
good. I like that.
Yeah, that's good tech.